With the last pick in this year's draft.
Alright, so right now the Saints are still playing. It's the end of the game. It's looking like the Saints are going to lose. But I had to come and make this video because a lot of people have been in the comment section just grilling me for my takes on the Saints. And I've told y'all, I'm unbiased when it comes to my favorite team, organization, player, rapper, whatever. The last video I dropped on this channel was me telling y'all how I was not impressed by the New Orleans Saints 2-game winning streak. Mostly because it was against two teams that were pretty trash. And you can say whatever you want to say, those teams were trash. I told Saints fans don't get your hopes too high because we beat bad teams, but we lose to teams that are competent and or over 500. Now the Rams aren't quite over 500, but they are considered to be a playoff team. And it just seems like whenever we go up against teams that are considered to be playoff teams, we find a way to lose. And this is something that has been going on for the last 2 to 3 years. Everyone was ready to anoint Darren Rizzi as the next head coach of the New Orleans Saints, while I said that we should wait until the end of the season and interview all candidates. I've said this time after time. I don't want nothing that smells like Sean Payton. I don't want nothing that smells like the Oakland Raiders. We need new blood as the Saints head coach.
Yep.
But this just shows that the New Orleans Saints and the NFC South are in purgatory. That's my favorite word. Purgatory, purgatory, purgatory. And I don't know when the NFC South becomes good again. I remember a few years ago, the NFC South was like the cream of the crop. Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Cam Newton. Man, that seems so long ago. Nonetheless, I will give credit where credit is due. Derek Carr had a solid game. There were some plays he left on the field. You can't really fault him for that. The offensive line played pretty well. Even on the last play where it was a strip fumble, the offensive line held up pretty well. And I've said this in a previous video. I don't trust the Saints in a shootout with any team. And that's what happened in this game. It became a shootout. Alvin Kamara played really well. He's on his way to probably having his first 1,000-yard rushing season. You know he gonna do what he do. Taysom Hill played really well in the first half. And then in the second half, he was nowhere to be found until he got injured. Like, I don't know what the deal is with the play calling. It's still very suspect. When the Saints went into halftime up by 6, I knew the Rams was gonna make halftime adjustments. And I wondered, how would Darren Rizzi make his adjustments? And to be honest, I didn't think he would. The Rams came out of halftime smoking. They were just straight beating on the New Orleans Saints defense. And speaking of defense, my boy Alontae Taylor. I love Alontae Taylor. He's one of my favorite players on the New Orleans Saints. But again, I am not biased. He had a terrible game. Gave up big plays, big penalties. Just an all-around sloppy game for my boy Alontae Taylor. There's a lot of pieces on the defense that I'm really not sure about going forward. Like at first, it was the safety position. But now the cornerback position is looking kind of weak too. And the defensive line still looks the same. And it's just crazy because I said this in my last video. The New Orleans Saints aren't that good. And it's crazy to me because I had people in the comment section straight grilling me. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's hard to take you serious. You not a real fan. Blase, blase, cluck, cluckety, cluck. And the thing is, in my previous videos, I gave y'all facts. Facts, stats, both. I gave y'all both. And instead of fact checking me to tell me why I was wrong, no one gave me any facts. It was just emotion and opinion-based comments. I even told y'all the Saints do this all the time. We win 2 games against bad teams and then we lose to a team that is competent. We've been doing this for the last 3 years. I told you all. I literally told you all. The Saints are in purgatory and the fan base is easily pacified. You win a couple bad games here, the Who Dat Nation starts beating on their chest, and then we lose a game and now we're feeling bad again. It's a circle. And I know I'm probably one of the most hated YouTubers who talk about the Saints because my channel isn't necessarily about the Saints. I just like the Saints. I like sports in general. But the New Orleans Saints are at the top of the teams that I just adore. So I know a lot of y'all not rocking with my takes because it goes against what you believe. You believe your team is without fault and should not be criticized. I don't subscribe to that. Just like you may not want to subscribe to this channel.
Like, respectfully.
But I will say this, until the New Orleans Saints embrace a rebuild, we will not see a deep playoff run ever again. Yes, Derek Carr had a good game today. I will not say it was his fault, but you still got to get younger and better at the quarterback position. I know y'all think that he's some elite quarterback. Okay, sure, whatever. But the New Orleans Saints aren't going to win with him. Maybe he'll go to another team and win a Super Bowl, but he's not going to win one in New Orleans. I'm not even saying draft a quarterback this year. Go get one of those big body receivers. The kid from Arizona, go get him. He's a good receiver. But you must prepare for a complete overhaul. There are so many holes on this team that we need to address. And if you can't get Shadur or Cam Ward, then you need to probably go focus on another position group because the quarterback class this year is a bit weak. We definitely need a big body receiver and a safety. At first, I was thinking maybe we need an offensive lineman, but the offensive line has been pretty solid. The last few games, the offensive line has been pretty good. I am thoroughly impressed with Trevor Penning. But with that being said, that does not help the grand scheme of the team. Man, all of this is crazy. because I got a lot of hate for being brutally honest with y'all. I called the New Orleans Saints for what the New Orleans Saints were, a team that was not good. And everybody was on my heels about it, man. Everybody. Well, hopefully you guys understand where I was coming from now. Look, I don't see the New Orleans Saints making the playoffs this year. It just is what it is. But hey, who am I to say? I'm just a hater.